Hi guys, happy Mother's Day. Today is May 9th, 2021, which just so happens to be Mother's Day. Mother's Day is one of the best and worst days out of the year for me. And so that's why we're doing kind of a different style video for today. Also, let me know, I got a new microphone, so hopefully it sounds alright, and I'm still messing with settings and everything to try and figure everything out, but yeah, hopefully it sounds okay. Also, I'll be talking a little bit quieter in this video because it's the evening and my dad's getting ready for bed, and it's just a good time to be just quiet and calm and reflect on the day. So, for those of you who don't know, which is probably most of you, my mother has passed away. She passed away 6 years ago, so it's not like anything fresh or new, but it's one of those things where when this day comes around, it sticks out to me as something special. Not necessarily like sacred or anything, but definitely something that deserves to be recognized and talked about. And something that I think before all of this happened, I tended to brush over. It wasn't as big of a deal. And that's why I want to talk a little bit about my mom on this Mother's Day. My mom was a wonderful, amazing woman. She was very kind and compassionate, and a little bit all over the place. She was a little bit nuts, not gonna lie. But that's part of what made her so special. She was a very hands-on person, and she never let anyone go it alone either. When I say hands-on, I mean she was crafty. She liked to make cards. She liked to make food. Although sometimes she would set things on fire while she was making food. But it was one of those things where it didn't matter if she was good at something. She would do it anyways, just so she could say she did. She never let herself get held back or worry about how things might turn out and whether she'd be any good at anything. She wouldn't let that fear stop her from trying, because she might not be good at something, but she would never know unless she tried it. And she did her best to try everything she could. She did a lot of crafts, not just card making, but she did, making bead ornaments, making bead bracelets, sewing, crocheting. She loved to do puzzles and put puzzles together. Puzzle games on the computer she liked. She loved the game Sudoku. I think everywhere she went, she had a Sudoku book in her purse, so that if she had time, she could just pull it out and complete a puzzle. I mean, she was like a wizard at Sudoku. But I think part of what made her so special, not just to me, but to anyone who knew her, was that it didn't matter who you were, she could always connect with you. She was very easy to talk to. And I think that's part of why I strive to be as open-minded as possible. Because I know what it's like to have somebody who's willing to listen to you no matter how crazy you sound. And I know how wonderful it feels to have somebody who is willing to listen and accept what you have to say, as well as voice their own opinion. And she was very good at finding a balance between telling you were wrong and listening to what you had to say, even though she might be skeptical. She was an amazing person. I don't think I could sum it up in 10 minutes, how amazing of a human being she was. But one of the things that even now after she's gone is still ever present is I meet people and they see me and they say, I know who your mom was and she was an amazing person. Or people who knew her and know me now will tell me, you are just like your mother, or you're amazing just like she was, or you remind me so much of her, or she would be so proud of you. And that's something that is wonderful because I haven't had like a personal relationship with her in 6 years, but all of these people who knew her get to see her through me. And that's something that is just amazing about being an amazing person's daughter, is that there's a little bit of pressure of like, well, you've got to be as good as they were. And the answer is just, you won't. You'll never be as good as she was. But you can be better in your own way, and you can be yourself, and people can still see her through you. And that's something that I really appreciate now that she's gone. It makes me feel closer to her in a way, because I'm not personally close to her, but I can be close to people who were close to her, and I can be a light for them the way she was for us. To sum that all up to say, she was an amazing person, and she is a big part of who I am now. And I wouldn't have it any other way. As hard as it is to say, I think she's in a better place, and that makes me happy. But that does make Mother's Day a little bit awkward, because you'll have people come up and say, hey, how you doing? This must be a terrible day for you. And they mean it nice. And I take it nice, because they're trying to be nice. But it is one of those things where after they wish you well and say they're sorry for your loss, you want them to move on. And sometimes they just don't. And they start talking about her and dwell on it longer than they should. Because talking about her is good. But dwelling on it for a long amount of time can kind of be a downer. It's fun to share a story or two, but then you need to move on. And at that, I think it's time to move on to the next part of this video. I want to say thank you to every mother, ever. And maybe you're not the best mother, but as long as you tried, and as long as you keep trying, it can always get better. Your children will look up to you like I do with my mom. Someday they will meet people, and those people will either say, you remind me just like your mother, or they will say, you remind me of something so much more. And that should be something that fills your heart with pride as a mother, to be able to say that I raised someone better than I was. Or at least to try to raise someone who's better. Because as good as you might be, you can always be better. And I think it's important that we push our children to be the best that they can be too. But a mother's job is not easy. And I have never had kids, but having babysat, I know it can be really hard. And that's just my experience from being stuck around kids for a little bit of time. I can't imagine what it's like to be stuck around them all the time. Which is why I want to say thank you especially to mothers, especially mothers who go it alone. Because you're the only person your kids can depend on, and they need you. And I am so grateful that they have someone like you. So to all the mothers out there, either going it alone or with a partner, I want to tell you that I am very proud of you for being the best mother you can be. And I want to encourage you to be even better tomorrow than you are today. There's always another day and a better day, and there will always be children looking up to their parents. You are their light, just like my mom was my light. And it is important for you to know just how much you mean to everyone in this world, because without you, any child would be lost. This was kind of a heavy video, and it was definitely not like most of my videos, but I hope you guys still liked it, because I enjoyed making it, and I know it's different content, but hopefully it's still good content, especially since this video was actually edited a little bit. Anyways, if you guys did like the video, please like and subscribe, and whether you liked the video or not, please tell your mother that she's a great mom and that you love her, because she needs to hear that, especially from you, her child. So get to it, and I'll see you guys later.